In the year 2020, there have been over 7.5 billion people affected by the coronavirus. Is that number higher than you remember hearing about in the news and on social media? That's because that is not the amount of people infected, but is the amount of people affected, and that involves you and me. People are getting sick, stores are closing down, and there is not a single person in the world whose life this is not impacting. And while the news has been really helpful in telling you how to keep yourself physically healthy, there's not been that many people telling you how to be mentally healthy. And today we're going to talk about the proper ways to respond to COVID-19 for your mental health. When overwhelmed with this much stress, it's really important to remember that this is not something that's going to last forever. You can still see your friends, although it might not be in person, they're always a phone call away, or you can just message them on social media. And although you might feel trapped in the house, you're still able to go outside on walks or to forest preserves as long as you make sure to stay 6 feet apart and not go out of your way to interact with people you don't normally live with. It's also important to take breaks from checking on the news or reading about updates from the virus. While it's always good to know more about the situation, it can be a little upsetting and draining at times to always be hearing bad news. So it's okay to take breaks from listening to that sort of stuff. Or if you don't want to disconnect from the news, you could just look up good news. And you might see things such as people donating money to the cause and helping hospitals. In this weird time where it's starting to feel like days are blending together and it's hard to find the motivation to get out of bed in the morning, something I recommend doing is starting to journal. The journaling app I've been using is called Reflectly. I'll write down the little wins, like I really like the art that I made today, or I made something for dinner that I don't usually make. And at the end of the day, it makes it look like not all the days are the same. And the most important thing you should take away from this is that you're not alone in this feeling. We are all in this together, and it's okay to reach out to someone when you need some help. And when someone comes to you and they're feeling upset, you should approach them with empathy and not priority. What that means is to say things like, "Hey, I know how you feel. This is what I do to help myself." And not things like, "Oh, I have it worse than you," because that's not helping anyone. For more information on how to deal with mental health during COVID-19, feel free to reach out to the CDC's website under Stress and Coping.